Where does the universe come from? Can scientists explain this, where the universe has come from, without reference to consciousness? No. First of all, how can everything come from nothing? We don't have any experience of things coming from nothing. So the idea that the whole universe can come from nothing, complete with the laws of nature, complete with the principle of cause and effect, that can all appear by chance, it's absurd. There's no sense there, there's no rhyme or reason there at all. The materialistic theory, the problem with trying to explain where everything has come from with reference to stuff here in the universe is that the cause of the universe must be outside the universe. Wittgenstein says in his Tractatus, this is the point that he says, the cause of the physical, the solution of the riddle of life in space and time lies outside space and time. But physical science deals with things inside space and time. So that means, in principle, you can't possibly explain in physical terms where the universe came from. The cause of the universe must be outside the universe, and the cause of the physical universe must be non-physical. So we're looking at a non-physical entity outside space and time. That's the only logically consistent explanation we can have. This astrophysicist Hugh Ross wrote, "The Creator is transcendent, operating beyond the dimensional limits of the universe." He's not talking about God, but he's just saying, whatever it was that created the universe. If it takes so much intelligence to understand matter, to understand the structure of the universe, then logically it must take at least that much intelligence to create, not only create the universe, but to maintain the universe. It takes so much intelligence to understand the laws of nature. It must take that much intelligence to maintain the laws of nature. So there was Sir James Jeans, who's a very prominent British astronomer. He said, "The universe can best be pictured, although still very imperfectly and inadequately, as consisting of pure thought. The thought of what, for want of a wider word, we must describe as a mathematical thinker." So in another place he said that the universe looks less and less like a great machine and more like a great thought. This is completely in line with the Vedic view that matter is the energy of the supreme consciousness, the supreme conscious being. Scientists have tried to explain in terms of the Big Bang how everything has come together. Now, first of all, this Big Bang, their idea is that at some point about 14, 15 billion years ago, the whole universe erupted out of nothing from a singularity. The singularity is something that they can't describe in terms of the laws of physics and chemistry. So immediately you're outside physical explanation. Their idea is then that the universe is expanding because time and space are expanding. So right here you've got two myths. One is that everything comes from nothing, the myth of everything coming from nothing. We have no experience of such a thing happening. And the second thing is the myth of time-space expanding. That's also, it's a mathematical conception. It's got nothing to do with our everyday experience. In order to preserve their theory of the Big Bang, they have to keep introducing fudge factors. Like they say that the universe, 90% of the universe consists of dark matter that we can't detect with our instruments. Well, then it's outside our experience. Then also they have to talk about dark energy. Then they have to include inflation, an inflationary period, and then a second inflationary period. So in this way, to save their theory, they have to keep on adding fudge factors to adjust it so that it's not falsified. Another point, there is actually an alternative model which we may or may not support. Rather than the Big Bang theory, there's the Swedish Nobel physicist, Alfvén. He talks in terms of plasma cosmology, and he says that the universe is full of electromagnetic and magnetic and electrical fields, and these actually produce structure and matter, but slowly. So if you remove the necessity that the universe appeared 14 billion years ago, and you accept that the universe is very, very old, So this can explain for the structure of the universe. He says, they say. There is an alternative in any case. The other point about the universe that's very cogent is that the physical constants are very, very finely tuned. And in fact, Penrose, he's a colleague of Stephen Hawking, he calculated what are the odds of the appearance of a physical universe capable of supporting life. And the odds are 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123. That's not just 10 with 123 zeros. It's 10 with 10 to the 123 zeros. Penrose himself said if you wrote a zero on every electron and every proton in the universe, you still wouldn't have space for that number. So this is the odds against the appearance of the universe. In other words, it's way beyond the conceivable limits of direct experience. And it's a testimony to inconceivable potency. So, in other words, the evidence of the scientists themselves justifies the theory of inconceivable potency. It's a falsifiable theory which is actually confirmed by actual experience and experiment. The other part of the other aspect of science, I mentioned the universal self. So the universal self is evident in the existence of the individual, in the individuals. It's evident in the existence of the communication between individuals, and also in the maintenance of the lawful universe, the consistently lawful universe. So it's an essential part of science also.